Hi, Mike Hose with Stand Up for All Kids here to do an episode about protein, really what kind of foods to maybe be eating, some testing that kind of help pinpoint what proteins maybe would be better for you. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share so we can talk about this topic. Let me get this up. And then I have a guest that's going to join us, Shane Corp. He's going to share his experience with everything. So let me get this into PowerPoint mode. All right, so Stand Up for All Kids, Mike Hose, I'm a lean health coach. If you've seen some of my other episodes, I'm always talking about different health topics. And this one, we're gonna be talking about protein. So Stand Up for All Kids, if you're first time in, it's a nonprofit where I help kids every year get some of the testing, the IgG food sensitivity testing, and the hair mineral analysis testing. And then we work on specific personalized diets for those kids to help them with overall athletic performance, or possibly even if they're dealing with some kind of health issue. Digging into my why, my results, as you can see in 2013, this is a blood test checking for antibodies for different foods. And I'm just going to highlight dairy, and you can see whey protein, yogurt, casein, dairy. So one of the things I was doing was taking a glass of milk and I would mix it with some whey protein, and never knew that it was causing a lot of my health issues. So we'll go over some of that stuff later. There's a lot of more research out there. I have different articles and lots of stuff that I can share once people get the results back, just to help them learn a little bit more about what the results mean. You can see this was the front page of an article just talking about no gluten, no lactose, no sugar, different things that people are learning that maybe don't agree with their body as well as others. So Shane Corp, I'm going to go ahead and add him on, and he's going to share his experience. So let me see if I can get Shane added so he can kind of go over the changes that he noticed with getting his results. Because as you can see, Shane was pretty much dairy, whey protein, just like me, but nothing really else that was affecting Shane. So I'm going to try and add Shane here. Hey, Shane, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing today?
I can hear you. Hey, Mike.
Hey, doing good. So I just wanted to kind of welcome you in, and I went over my results. I'm going to do some screen sharing like I was doing, and just kind of going over, I guess, your results with other people. Let's see if I can get it to, okay. So 2018, Shane was helped through Stand Up for All Kids. We did the food sensitivity test, and we found that, dairy, whey protein, milk, stuff like that was maybe causing him some kind of histamine response, like an inflammation response. So what I want to do is just let me stop the share so you're a little bit larger. Okay. So Shane, why don't you explain a little bit about, I think you were taking a whey protein.
Yeah.
What was, it was whey, right?
Yeah, it was whey. So a couple years ago, I went to a national in South Carolina. It was South Carolina, Rock Hill, and I was introduced to a whey protein powder. It was called Venom. So I was taking that, and at the time, I had no clue about any of my sensitivities from what you have told me about after the testing, and it was giving me some headaches, just making me not concentrate as much as hard as I should have been concentrating on focusing on one thing at once during that time. So after I got my test results back, I saw that I was sensitive to whey and dairy products. So I kind of just eliminated the whey. I didn't eliminate dairy completely out of my life, but I did eliminate whey. I started taking pea protein, introduced me to pea protein and other forms of protein. And it really just helped my focusing, it helped my headaches, everything kind of helped me focus on one thing. So like now I go to a national, I don't have to worry about a headache after taking a whey protein. I take something else, like, make me up one of them Juice Plus powders you gave me.
Yeah.
Take one of those, it helped a lot. I go up, I could focus a little more, didn't have anything else in my mind. My head was focused on that one thing I was focusing on. So
Yeah, that was so. Before I brought you on, I shared my results a little bit about that, and one of the things for me that I was experiencing, I didn't even know, is some brain fog, so mental clarity. So I guess because I was always dealing with it, I didn't realize that I was dealing with it until I cut out that dairy and the whey protein, and then I started to notice in my mental focus, my clarity was better. Same thing, I was having migraines and headaches, and I got rid of that. So congestion, lots of things I was dealing with that I've really improved on.
mhm.
So it's awesome to hear that, you were able to find some of that stuff out and just really improve on that, because headaches, nobody wants headaches. Nobody wants any kind of
Yeah, they're
pain,
not.
right?
Yep, they're not fun at all.
It's
Especially
debilitating, whether you're trying to focus on studying for academics or just trying to compete like you
right.
were, BMX racers. So appreciate you sharing. I'm going to share some more stuff here for other people to learn about the things. But I appreciate you hopping on and just
Hmm.
really quick sharing a little bit about what you experienced. So you're welcome
Yes.
to stay on, or you could go on about your day. And good seeing you again, Shane.
Yep,
Take
it
care.
was good to thank you, Mike. I'm gonna hop off here.
Okay. Take
All right.
care.
Yep.
See ya.
See ya.
All right, so I'm gonna go back to screen sharing. So as you can hear, Shane was dealing with some brain fog, just like me. Very common. I have lots of information about it, mental clarity type stuff, headaches, things of that nature. So we'll dive into that a little bit. So I'm gonna go to the next slide. So looking at the Mayo Clinic. So when I first found out that I was like dairy, I was really confused, I guess, because everything I had heard was dairy does the body good. So digging into it, I mean, you look at what the Mayo Clinic says. I'm gonna go to the next slide. Abnormal heart rhythms, change in cholesterol levels, headaches, increased diabetes risk, increased fracture risk, osteoporosis risk, kidney dysfunction, liver damage, stomach problems, acid reflux, bloating, nausea, cramps, gas, all these things. So, brain fog is definitely another one. So this is from the Mayo Clinic. We look at whey protein, a lot of marketing that's behind whey protein. You can see that they just really are out there. It's a byproduct of dairy, that they were able to get some of the whey out of the that they were throwing away from making cheese. But really, when we come down to it, it builds muscle, but it's also causing a lot of side effects. So I think there's a better option out there, because if your body is having reactions to foods and you're producing these antibodies, so think of these little missiles, right? This is your defense system, your immune system, and think of these as your antibodies. Okay, so if you're constantly firing them off with foods that you're eating, maybe dairy, could be eggs, could be gluten, could be bananas, I mean, it's across the board. For me, it's also coffee. So I'm weakening my immune system. I'm firing off antibodies for things that it should be saved for when we get exposed to viruses and bacteria. So it's a good idea to figure that out. Find out what food sensitivities you have and cut down on your antibody production, your histamine response. So Shane was talking about a protein that I recommended. I've been on it almost 6 years now. You can see it's non-GMO, no pesticides, no herbicides, 100% vegan. And I was searching because I got the testing in 2013. I was trying different products in 2014. A friend recommended I try this. I tried it myself. And the thing I liked about it is the research that's been done on the Juice Plus, the Complete, and all the products over the last 25 years. And the fact that Juice Plus, right, has a score of 1, which is perfect, which is the only plant protein powder that's out there for that scores it for cleanliness and other things. It's the only one. And there might, I don't know, this could be, there's some more protein powders out there that, I would say are good, but most of them really aren't that clean. They spend more money on marketing. I don't know if you've seen Forks Over Knives. That's a documentary, and you talk about people saying, well, where am I going to get my protein if I just go to plants? So I want to talk a little bit about that. So you look at the elephant, the rhino, the hippo, the gorilla, all plant powered, right? Nobody asks them where they get their protein. So think about those animals and how much energy they exert and the size and the muscle mass that they have here's a good list that I share. You know, sometimes we're looking at where we can get our protein sources through plants. So you can see soybeans is up there, you know, peanut butter, nuts and beans and all kinds of, even potatoes. So I definitely eat a lot more of these foods on a regular basis. And I've cut down on my meat consumption. I don't know, this is a new documentary out called The Game Changers. I want to take a couple minutes. I'm going to go ahead and play it because it talks about athletes and the marketing and how some of them have changed and went to a plant-based diet and what they've noticed. So I'm going to see if this will play. Go ahead. It's only a couple minutes.
One and only Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I ate a lot of meat. They showed us commercials. Steak. That's what a man eats. Selling that idea that real men eat meat. Serious man food. But you got to understand, that's marketing. That's not based on reality.
I've been teaching fighting techniques to government agencies for more than 15 years. Then I got injured, unable to teach for at least 6 months. I spent more than 1,000 hours studying science on recovery and nutrition, and stumbled across a study about the Roman gladiators.
The gladiators were predominantly vegetarian.
How could the original professional fighters be so powerful, eating only plants?
Made the switch to a plant-based diet. I qualified for my 3rd Olympic team. Broke 2 American records. I was like, man, I should have done this a long while ago.
When I went plant-based, I wasn't sure if I was going to survive. And I actually became like a machine.
One of the biggest misconceptions in sports nutrition is that we have to have animal protein to perform at a high level. That's just not true.
Sometimes you have to do things that you know your competitor's not doing.
Blood and yesterday's blood.
Then I think this is going to wake a lot of people up. I was recovering better, not getting as sore. This was our best season in the last 15 years, and we had 14 guys on plant-based diets.
You want to feel great, have more energy. Straw was 276. Today, 169.
Whoa, now you're talking.
Most guys my age can keep up with the grandchildren. My grandchildren can't keep up with me.
It's not one set of dietary guidelines for improving your performance as an athlete, another one for reversing heart disease, reversing diabetes. It's the same for all of them.
Someone asked me, how could you get as strong as an ox without eating any meat? And my answer was, have you ever seen an ox eating meat?
So yeah, if you haven't actually had a chance to watch that, I recommend it's on Netflix. Definitely something I think there's a lot of good information on there. Actually goes into talking about soy and how there was the big myth about soy and how it could be increasing our estrogen, but really it's not. It's actually doing the opposite effect. So take the time, maybe even get the kids and take a look at that Netflix show, The Game Changers, and just sit down and watch it. Something about the complete protein that I want to talk about, because if you got to give up the dairy, you got to give up the casein in the whey. There's options out there. The reason why I recommend this one is because if you look, it's 100% plant-based. It does have 13 grams of protein, which is more absorbable. So you might see other proteins out there that have a higher content, but it's typically because we're not absorbing it. So if we're taking a whey protein with 22 grams, we might not be absorbing it as good as 13 grams, if that makes sense. So lots of good stuff in here, non-GMO, non-dairy, no preservatives, no artificial flavors, so gluten-free. So you can just look at all the features and all the actual superfoods that are in this. So key thing with looking at powders is, does it have a supplement label or does it have a nutritional label? So this complete as a nutritional label means it's all 100% plant-based. There's no artificial man-made plant type supplements in there. It's all made from food. So talking about a little bit, if you watch Game Changers, you're going to get into that about estrogen. And, I heard stuff about, it's not good for guys to take. But really, before I started taking the Juice Plus down here, my estrogen levels were over 100 elevated. And you can see that they should have been around 40 would be a good range. So my estrogen was high, my estrone. And then I was hesitant, but then I researched the non-GMO soy and the pea proteins and learned and decided to take it. And then I got retested, and I was blown away at how quickly my hormones became normal. And something that was over 100 went to 28, which 30 to 60 is a range. So I was right there in the range. So I went from over 100 down to 28 and just changing my diet. And I could tell the difference, definitely felt it. So if you're interested in any of the Juice Plus products and you're interested in that complete, you can click on this link and look at Tammy Craig's website. You can look at the research that's been done on it, the 40 plus clinical research studies. I'm constantly doing testing myself to see the changes that we occur with adults and kids. But you can click on this link and take a look at the product. If you want more information about the IgG testing that I do and how to get qualified for your kids, because every January we've been helping kids. It started off with 1 kid, then we went all the way up to 4 kids this year, 4 kids last year. Another nonprofit, 1111 Giving Love, they sponsored 4 local families, so we were able to help 8 families and kids last year. So if you want more information on that, you can email me here at naturalistic.healthoptions@gmail.com. If you're interested in taking a look at more depth look of the testing, you can go on this link, click on it, and you'll be able to see sample reports of the testing that we do. So I hope this helps. If you got any questions, reach out, and don't be afraid to try to switch to, doing more protein, and testing is where it's at, because everybody is specific. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next episode we'll be doing, I'm not sure exactly the topic, but every month I'll be doing a different topic. So if you guys have any specific topics that's dealing with health and something that's related with kids, feel free to email me what topics you want me to talk about. So I'll definitely be doing asthma at some point in the spring. I'll be talking about that. And I think I might talk about sugar or even exercise next month. So send me in your requests. Be more than happy to share anything I have, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. Take care.